Now I see places and faces and things you ain't never thought about.
Hi, I'm with Joe Rubin of Funding Post, and we're at his VC Summer and Angel event where people come and pitch their ideas, and we listen to some really interesting ones and some not so interesting ones. So Joe, tell us why you came up with this idea and what makes you qualified to tell these people how bad they are doing.
Well, I would say they're all interesting,
Okay.
actually. Some of them are just more well-polished than others. So we've been doing this for 15 years now, basically introducing entrepreneurs and investors. We do these investor events around the country in like 23 different cities, and they're a lot of fun. I get to just hear fantastic ideas every day. That's like my whole life is just hearing somebody's amazing dream and amazing idea. And a lot of times they need some polishing. They need to be fixed up a little bit. They say the things that are important to their business, but not necessarily the things that investors need to hear to make an educated and quick decision on whether they'd like to learn more. So they come to the workshop, they tell me about their business a little bit, I help them hone down their pitch to give some of the details and points and things that they may not necessarily think are important to them, but are important to investors. And they put together a quick elevator pitch to hopefully get another meeting with those investors after the event.
What made you come up with this idea?
We started doing the conferences really at the end of the dot-com bubble burst, back in like 2000. So we started bringing up companies. Hey, you want to pitch? Sure, come on up on stage and pitch. And we started listening to these pitches. And then after the event, a few investors would come up to us and be like, listen, you're wasting my time here. What are you doing? Like some of those pitches were awful. And, I read some of the summaries of the companies and they were pretty good. And I was kind of upset. Why were these pitches so awful? So I figured, all right, let me listen to them in advance and hear them out and see if I can offer some guidance and advice before they actually got on stage and pitched.
Right.
So that's what we've been doing. And I don't know what makes me qualified. I guess I've just been doing it for so long. I run a venture fund here in New York called Archangel Fund. We get pitched all the time. I've been running these events for 15 years. So I've heard it all. I've heard the good, the bad, the really, really, really bad, and I've heard the feedback that investors give to the entrepreneurs. And I kind of just relay some of that stuff in more of a concise little meeting over lunch.
Well, today, there were some very unusual ones. One person you said was perfect and you didn't have to give him any feedback. Why was he perfect?
There's a mixture of the style of the way they're actually talking, of the confidence of their presentation. When they get up there, they look around the room, they talk to the panelists, they talk to the people in the room, they make eye contact. So there's that mixture of public speaking with the fact that they're actually hitting a lot of the points that, as an investor, I'd like to hear. So they're mentioning, what it is that they do, and they explain it simply and easily, where I don't have to try to figure out what it is that they do after their entire pitch. They talk about the problem. They talk about the solution. They talk about how they're making money as a business and what the market opportunity is and who they're going to sell it to. If they hit those couple of points, that's really good. I also like to hear, have they invested their own capital in there? Have they taken any outside capital from investors? And, if they put that all together in a just easy to understand, not trying to jam it in with 15 minutes of information into a quick 2-minute pitch, but just a couple of quick points, things that I want to walk away with and say, that's pretty cool, I'd like to learn more. That's what I consider a good pitch.
In your 15 years, is there any that you've actually invested in?
Plenty.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah.
What are some of them and did they work? Tell us your success and your failure.
So in our funds, we've set the fund up about 6 years ago. We've had 4 exits now. We met a few of those companies at both my conferences and at other conferences, and some from referrals from friends, from other investors. And one of our companies was acquired by AOL, one was acquired by Amazon, one was acquired by Ignition One, one was acquired by a public company in Australia. So we've had some good exits.
And
Failures.
Mostly the tech ones that were good exits?
Well, we mostly invest in tech, so
okay.
Yeah. We have a few that are outside of tech, a few that are in other industries, but mostly we're investing in early stage tech.
So let's hear the failures and how you dealt.
You have to be a big boy or a big girl about this. You're in investing. This is a risky asset class to put your money in there. You can't second guess yourself. If you make an investment, you got to help as much as you can, but sometimes investments don't always work out. This is really risky stuff. These are not often highly proven. There's a lot of ways a company can fail, and a lot of times the company finds a lot of those ways to fail. And going in, you think every company is going to be an amazing opportunity. This could be a fund returning home run. This looks amazing. But along with that reward comes the high risk that things can happen. One company was in the medical tech space and regulations changed. It just happened all of a sudden overnight. They were on fire and overnight they went down in flames. It sucks. You frown and you have to tell the rest of your investors that this really great company that we were so excited about that was going to make us all a lot of money and now is out of business. And it just is what it is. It's part of the game.
And they know.
Yeah, nobody likes it. We're not going out and celebrating it or anything, but you expect it. You expect in early stage, a decent number of the companies will unfortunately go out of business. You hope that it doesn't happen, but unfortunately it does.
I've been interviewing you for a very long time.
I know.
You're always so cool, calm, and collected, even when there's
thanks.
1,000 people around, or some of the pitches are bad, or some of the VCs are boring, or something could go wrong. How do you maintain your calm?
I have a lot of good people that help me out in the background. I do a lot of running around. I'm setting up chairs, I'm moving things. All of a sudden the mics don't work, the food's not right. So I'm out there putting out fires nonstop. I guess I try to put a smile on and act professionally. I got to represent my company. So, I can't tell entrepreneurs to go up here and pitch and do a great job and smile and talk to investors if I'm looking like, my hair's on fire running around like crazy. I try to have a good time at my conferences, and I do a lot of prep work in advance to make sure it goes smoothly. I used to be awful at public speaking. I used to get so nervous. I was the paper crinkler. When you hear the paper crinkling in the microphone, you're trying to read your notes and you're ready to throw up and pass out. That was me in high school, and I just decided that's ridiculous. I just practiced it and eventually got just comfortable being on stage in front of hundreds of people, and I have a good time now with it. I think I'm reasonably funny, sometimes, and I try to just enjoy what I'm doing up there, and I try to tell some jokes and lighten up the audience, and not only that, but also bring some good points, things that I've heard, things that I've witnessed and collected over my life, and try to give that advice to companies.
Over the 15 years, what are some of the weirdest or strangest things that have happened at your events?
Oh, I've totally had people where, I'm saying this paper crinkling thing, but legit, I gotta sit down, I'm gonna have to run over and get a chair for a person, help them off the stage, and people that I see them so nervous, and I'm like, hey, you want a quick shot of whiskey before you get up there? You gotta calm down. I've had people that have literally broken down and ready to start crying, and then my business partner, man, they took all the money and went to Vegas, and there was like this prison thing and this drug issue, and I've heard I'm like, oh my God, is this person on stage right now talking about this right now, about the settlement in the Vegas? I'm like, oh my goodness. So I've heard it all, and those don't go over so well, but they make for great stories when I'm being interviewed.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, and we're going to have you again.
All right. Thank you.
Next time with video.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Very much.
Have a good day.
Now I see places and faces